Welcome, my name is Rich, and this is a laid-back Let's Play of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, wherein I shall play the game at no stress, relaxed sort of pace, and explore, take my time. It won't be a completionist sort of run, but it also won't be a rushed time-defying sort of a run either. I'll talk about things that occur to me, things that I think the game might be referencing or drawing inspiration from. I'll make bad jokes, dumb jokes, silly jokes, jokes at the expense of the game, terrible puns. I'll talk about the things I like about the game, things that I think could have been better. And generally just make my way through the world. So at the moment we are in Mel Sinshir, which is this area here. We are going to enter the Cursewood shortly. In Clyrcon, in the Feylands, which you can't get all of on the map because you can't zoom out enough, but that's okay. So yeah, I think we'll probably manage to do most of Cursewood today. No quests to pick up, just someone
Welcome to the war.
to deliver a death notice to. Which you would think... So, I got this quest to deliver death notices in Candrian? In Melaglir? Or was it further south in Apatir? In Whitestone? It might have been Whitestone, actually. So a guy got given a bunch of death notices, and he made his way eventually to Whitestone, pretty sure. Or it could even have been Motus Mining Outpost? Don't remember. Oh no, it must have been Whitestone. So he made his way south, and then gave up, because he couldn't hack handing death notices to the relatives of people who had died. And we picked up the job. And we have been around even up to Rathir, and I'm not really sure why. Okay, maybe he did some in Rathir, and then gave up, and then fled south. And from there, from here, we journeyed around and gave out the death notices. Including in Rathir, and also including here in Mel Sinshir. Now, why death notices got handed to someone who went to Rathir for someone who was in Mel Sinshir, so why a death notice for someone here got sent to Rathir with a bunch of others, I don't know. I guess because they were all together, the game figured, we'll just throw in one for Mel Sinshir, even though it should have come from there, and hope that nobody interrogates this too deeply. Unfortunately, I am interrogating it too deeply, but here we are. Talk to Friddy Edstar.
It's time to celebrate. The Balor's dead, and the Tuatha have fallen back to Cursewood. You and me, let's drink to victory.
Let's get these out of the way first before we tell her that someone she knows has died. Someone she's related to has died, in fact.
I'm not doing this for the glory. Glory's worthless when you're dead. I'm doing this because someone has to. And if not me, then who? Oh, I come from a long line of soldiers. We don't know anything else. I'd pay good gold to see anyone in my family bake a loaf of bread or read a book. Thought we were doomed, didn't you? You and everybody else. But nobody accounted for the hero of Mel Sinshir.
I did. Well, I didn't think that you were doomed. And I accounted for the hero of Mel Sinshir. In fact, I brought her here.
Not Tak. Not Tak. Damn the Tuatha! Damn them to the fires! This isn't how it was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be the soldier. He was supposed to stay home to watch Mother. I knew he was in Cursewood, but they must have been in the path of the Baelor. They were trying to shield us. Poor Tak. Mother will be ruined.
Sorry to hear that. Amazing to see one guy on a lute play a flute and a drum as well, somehow. Perhaps he's got the flute affixed to his nose, and he's got the drum under his foot or something, I don't know. Crates. Okay, so looting that would be stealing. I wonder what the point of that room is. Like, is it just a storeroom? It's got a bookshelf. Yeah, this is probably a storeroom. Like, there's glasses on a chair for some reason. This is just like spare room. Surprised there isn't a kitchen. Usually in taverns you have a place to prepare food, I think. Or at least somewhere that you could clean all of these plates and goblets and bottles and stuff.
I worked hard to get to the front. Here I am.
Great Niskaru arrived, I thought.
What's in here? Nothing much, it seems. Hopefully there'll be stuff to loot at least. Maybe some kind of story thing happens here later? Oh. We're not allowed in? Oh no, okay, there we go. If I was not allowed down the stairs because of some invisible barrier, I would have been kind of annoyed because there's clearly stuff to interact with down here, stuff to break. Why would that be stealing? Okay, well, I guess leave it alone because it would be stealing to take those things. So would that. Who even owns this stuff? That would be stealing also. Ooh. Nice, that's a new animation. Oh. What the fuck is the point in this? Maybe they intended to add more and didn't manage to complete it. Like, that's just... This has to be like a placeholder wall that they put in just because they didn't finish the rest of the level. Has to be, right? Maybe they were going to put in some hiding Tuatha? I'm not allowed up there, even though there's a clear section of stair up which we might walk. So we've got... Oh yeah, let's go and rescue the Court of Enchantments. We have a couple of quests to pick up, so let's do that, I suppose. And there's... I don't know... Okay, there's not much point in trying to go into the Mel Sinshir jail. I doubt that we'll meet anyone in there that has anything that we need, but I suppose we might find someone in the hospital with a quest. Kind of annoying that they don't display quests you can pick up outside, like on the door outside. So you have to go into various places and... Oh, that looks like fun.
Cut you to ribbons! Ha! You're already dead. Nothing but another corpse, just like me. Another body for the feast. She's here, you know. Death. I've seen her. She's like a big fat crow come to eat my eyes. Please, don't let her eat my eyes. I don't want to die.
He's having a bad time, isn't he? PTSD.
A fool twice cursed. Once to fall in battle, nearly killed. Cursed again to keep on living in this wretched place, this nest of death and darkness. A whole city of crows, fat from feasting. Once I thought they were monsters, always rising. I didn't know then. I didn't understand where the real monsters live. Oh, she's a great dark crow with 1,000 needle beaks. She's going to take me, you know, I've seen it. We're all beggars, dead already and begging for the end. Beggars bent like hags, bent beneath a bloody fate. But you're no beggar at all. You're the scarecrow, aren't you? Shoo, death, shoo!
That seems unkind and counterproductive.
I can see it, all around you. You're not like us, you're not like anyone. You're not afraid of death, are you?
Nope.
I am. I dream of her. She takes me beneath the tower and she does things. Horrible things. Don't let her take me there, please. Don't let her open me up. I don't want to see what's inside.
What about the broken tower?
That's where she keeps her nest. We go beneath the tower, but we don't come out again. Don't go there. It's dangerous. Don't go. You won't come back. Don't leave me.
Maybe they did add things. Oh, okay, that would be the stealing, okay. Maybe they did add things to the broken tower after all. A lot of people. I wonder why he's on the floor here instead of one of the cots. And this poor woman. How on earth have I managed to get stuck on nothing? That happens a lot in this game, where you're not allowed to leave the floor, except at designated jumping points. Ah, that's a secret door, eh? Okay. Ah, it has become a door, and now, because I know about it, I can see the door. Okay. Nice. Cast the whole place in red light. Add to the... Oh, bloodstains, okay. Add to the atmosphere. The ambiance. What's that? Is that a skull? What a weird skull. Where are the eyes on the side? That's a very big cranium. Brain case. What on... Oh, not on Earth, but... the positioning of the eyes on the side, with very little ability to look forwards, but sideways, suggests prey animal. But the teeth... Those teeth say predator. Very strange skull. Very strange. Yeah, I was right gear. That's a bit disappointing. Poor woman. She's not dressed as a soldier though, so I wonder who that was. Oh, just casually leave a brazier full of chops of meat. Lovely. Crude silk shoes. Don't care about those either. That was doing a wiggle. Hello? What's all this?
You couldn't leave the prattling of a madman alone, could you? This is my sanctum, trespasser. You couldn't possibly understand the work I'm doing here. I fear I will need to kill you now.
Oh,
Perhaps the process will provide some insights into your unique power.
No explanation. Tell me more about this work. Just before I kill you, tell me a bit more about what exactly you imagine you're doing here.
Don't you see? The physiology of the mortal races is a book we've barely begun to crack. You couldn't possibly understand. I take these young men and women and I open them and I see what truly lives within. Magic is changing and so are those who wield it. I am merely bold enough to look and learn the how and why.
Ah, so you're a war criminal.
How unsurprisingly noble of you. Few possess the intellectual acuity to appreciate my work.
You mean madness?
Very well. Perhaps I will learn something from your death.
Perhaps you'll learn something from your death. I'm surprised she was able to summon sprites. They fell easily. Nothing on her to explain it, just Star Thistle. What a weird thing to insert into the game at this point. Like, she's obviously supposed to be some kind of reference to Nazi Germany, where during in the concentration camps, a doctor whose name escapes me at the moment experimented on living. Was it Goering? Goebbels? I think it began with a G. He was called Angel of Death or something. Who experimented on the inmates of various concentration camps, often whilst they were still alive, conducting vivisections, subjecting them to awful things like deliberately giving them frostbite to see what happens. All incredibly unpleasant stuff, and in the name of advancing medical science. Now, unfortunately, his findings are useful to medical science. I'm not saying that we should have done them, but the fact that they happened has ended up being somewhat useful. Oh yes, right, pick up quests. We've also got a quest to hand in for...
Well met.
the poor mad dude. Who's now behind the desk.
You return. Ha! She's dead, isn't she? The moment she passed, the clouds surrounding my mind seemed to pass. What a wretched woman. Who knows how long she's been here, preying on the weak and injured. Seems I named you well, Scarecrow. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done.
No worries. It was a thing that needed doing.
I do not think that I can return to the Chandlery after what I've seen. Where does
That's
one
fair.
go after they've seen the horror of war?
You could go to the Summer Court, the Feylands. Hang out in Issa. That's quite a nice place. Peaceful.
A kind soul. She hasn't left the hospital since the siege. I don't think she even sleeps. I wish I'd never come to this cursed city. I survived the horror of battle only to find the horrors of the hospital.
How did I get teleported around the desk? That's weird. There's a healer up here.
I am Megan, nurse to the wounded soldiers of the Alpha. How can I help you? I haven't seen her in quite some time. I hope everything is well. Master Hawkins' recovery has been miraculous, and he has been quite a help around here.
That's nice.
My family does not understand. They want me to settle down somewhere. There are so many who suffer and so few who help. I cannot just turn and look the other way. The poor soldiers of Mel Sinshir desperately need a healer's touch. There are so many dead or dying, and so few of us to help. Stay safe.
Lyria is smiling upon us now.
I don't think it's Lyria. I am, though. And that's almost as good.
The Tuatha lines have broken, and we still live. It looks like fate has a sense of humor. Please, forgive my melancholy. The champion of Mel Sinshir should be cheered, not subjected to my sorrow. I am Adrian Tyr, and I owe you my thanks. Though many have been lost, your courage saved a great many more. I did not think fate would let us survive that onslaught. It seems that even if fate is not on our side, you are.
Indeed I am. I'm better than having fate on your side, because I can break fate.
She was the greatest among us. What happened out there on the wall? I knew she would redeem herself. Thank Lyria she was here, and that her life was not given in vain.
I still wonder where that spear went that she threw and missed the main... It's not Balrog. Ugh, I can't remember. The big one-eyed thing.
I was dead, or I should have been at least, if it were not for a Varani mercenary who threw himself in the fray. He fought like a demon, and I was able to escape. The poor man was not so fortunate, though. I watched the Tuatha cut him off, and then he was gone. It shames me, but I once held such mercenaries in great disdain. But this man, whoever he was a warrior of honor.
I'll go and find him. And kill the Tuatha who hurt him.
He was cut off and surrounded by the Tuatha. He is surely dead. However, his body must lie somewhere in Cursewood. It would give me peace to learn of his fate. The Varani warrior? The last I saw of him, he was cut off behind Tuatha lines in Cursewood. Farewell.
Honor to you, champion. I watched from the battle's van while you faced Malwyn and his demon pet. You have earned great glory and the respect of all Alfar. If you have a moment, could I ask a favor of you?
Sure. I'm surprised she's got a Prismere sword, actually. There's such a huge variety of weapon types in amongst the soldiers of Mel Sinshir. Also, she's in studded leather, which is weird, also.
I have never been a part of a battle like that before. You and Tilera were magnificent.
Is she part Tuatha? She's got very dark skin and red eyes.
Historically, the first sword is the greatest blade master of the Alfar army. I earned the title when I killed a Tuatha champion known as Zarastes.
Ah, she's got a fancy sword because she's a sword master. Nice.
We grew up together back in Erethel. I've never known a warrior more courageous. Since the Tuatha penned us here, Mel Sinshir has become more than just our home. It is where we made our stand. Now that the siege has been broken, it will be where we rise up and take the fight back to the cursed Tuatha. My sister can be abrasive at times. Do not let her rough exterior fool you, though. None can forge a finer blade. Since the battle, several of my men have asked for the chance to challenge the champion of Mel Sinshir. You slew Malwyn and destroyed the great demon he commanded. They hold you in awe.
That's the one.
5 of our greatest fighters have asked, and if you accept, they will each face you here in the practice yard in single combat.
Yeah, so the Baelor is a massive Niskaru beast, but there was also a Niskaru on the back of his head, and there was a rope with a hook on the end, a twinned hook attached to the eyelid of the Baelor, and the Niskaru on the back of his head would pull on it to open his eye and shine that big old beam of death, or whatever it was, wherever he was looking. And What's-her-face threw the spear, presumably aiming for the eye, but missed and hit the Niskaru on the back of the Baelor's head. And so it fell off, and the spear just disappeared.
There are 5 in total. Anayan Gaius, Tarik Smith, Saphedra Will, Adrian Tyr, and my sister, Ragnar Sen. Tell me when you are prepared to fight, and I will summon the appropriate warrior. Good luck to you, champion.
Okay.
Excellent. Your first challenger is Anayan Gaius. He is a veteran of more than a dozen campaigns and my personal aid. This should prove interesting.
I shall endeavour not to kill him. I hope he didn't die. That would be awkward.
That last fight with Anayan was interesting. He fared better than I thought, though I was unsurprised when you bested him. Prepared for your next challenge?
I didn't really do very much to him, and it wasn't a terribly fair fight. Oh, hey, welcome, nomads.
Your next challenger is Tarik Smith. The smith spends all day pounding steel. Do not let him pound you too. Go with Lyria.
Yeah, I don't think Hanara is into being pounded. It's not really very fair, is it? I do way too much damage. Oh yeah, okay, so Tarik's back at the forge. So he's fine, clearly. It's weird that he's using a claw hammer on... well, it's not quite a claw hammer. It's got a single spike on the back of it. But it's weird that he's using that kind of hammer to smith something. Also not clear what exactly it is that he's smithing. Perhaps his fingers? Those weapons are OP and always have been. Yeah, they are Prismere.
Well, you bent me over the anvil right proper.
Yeah. Hanara is really more of a top than a bottom.
I did not see the demon fall. but I felt the earth shake. To slay such a creature, you must have been blessed by the gods.
No. Not blessed. The gods had nothing to do with it.
She is the highest-ranking blade master in the Alpha army, and she fought beside Tilera herself. Would probably have gutted the Baelor too, if she'd gotten close.
I don't know about that.
Bronwyn Sen is a living legend. Treat her with respect.
Fair enough. Dialogue sounds so wrong. They are... I think they're being a little bit suggestive with... I mean, there's the obvious connection with him being a smith and pounding you. But then he went and said, bent over the anvil, so it kind of... Yeah. I think they knew that what they were doing there. I think they were trying to slip something by. But I noticed.
Terrible loss for us. Should have been her leading our armies south. This is as good a place as any to die. Not that I plan on doing that just yet, mind you. The woman is a poet with a hammer. No one forges a finer blade. Her twin sister Bronwyn, his first sword. You don't even know what that means, do you?
She's good at sticking people with the pointy end.
I came here to join the fight. But with all the smithing that needs to be done, I haven't been able to escape the forge.
You're doing a useful job.
Give them hell.
Any other letters of the alphabet you think I should give them?
You certainly didn't pull any punches with my blacksmith. I hope he can still hold a hammer tomorrow.
He seems fine.
Phaedra Will is next. Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Phaedra is one of my best scouts, quick and agile. Give her any room and she'll make the ring into your grave.
Unlikely.
Go with Lyria.
Probably means 2 daggers. Yeah, there we go. Don't come up with twin daggers. I've got 2 daggers too.
You handled Phaedra readily enough. Perhaps it's time you face Adrian Tyr.
Then people say I have a sick mind, so I tell them to listen carefully to game comments. Well, I could be reading a bit more into it than is really supposed to be there, but...
Adrian Tyr survived alone 3 times when his company to a man has fallen. The soldier refuses to give up. He is fearless and enduring. It will take the force of God to bring him to his knees. Good luck. Go with Lyria.
I'm better than the force of God. Oh, he's got his name in yellow. He doesn't stop, does he? Okay. That was actually a challenge. By the way, I think you can have a chance of having one of 3 possible lovers. One is that rogue you find in that house near the start over the dead body. Aelin Shear? I think I tried that my first playthrough and she just said not right now, basically. I think one of the others is probably Agarth.
Adrian fell harder than I thought he would. Well done. Your final challenger is my sister, Ragnar. She is the finest weaponsmith in the Alpha army, and a peerless fighter. She will bury her sword in your heart if you are not careful. Do not underestimate her. Go with Lyria.
The Ballad questline last boss is another, for sure. Oh, okay. Oh, hello. She uses Feyblades. There we go. Sorry, nobody beats me. In one of the DLCs. Oh really? There's a potential lover in one of the DLCs. Nobody really uses Fellblades in this apart from the player, from what I have seen. Feyblades. She, what's her face use Feyblades? Some of the Tuatha use Feyblades. The Fey tend to be the ones who use Feyblades. Some of the House of Ballads use Feyblades. And Bronwyn's sister just then used Feyblades. But it's not as common as swords or bows or spears.
One by one, the greatest of the Alpha have faced you in single combat, and all have fallen. Now it is my turn.
I thought she'd be the last.
I am Bronwyn Aurelia Sen, the first sword of the Alpha. I was born in battle, and hundreds have fallen by my hand. Let us see what you are truly made of, champion. Go with Lyria.
Are you prepared to not be First Blade anymore, Bronwyn? Oh, hey. Nuts. Mistimed that. You'd think a fight like this would get more of an audience. Nuts. There we go. I'm not gonna fate break her. That's not fair. I mean, use them in an effective way against the player. Okay, fair enough. They seem to be devastating only in the player's hands. I think a part of it is the fact that players have the ability to increase the effectiveness of the weapons that they wield, so you deal extra damage, and your gear is usually going to be better because you can construct, or you could smith better gear. In war, it's only those left standing which win. Yeah. But we're not at war. We're not at war with Bronwyn.
You are worthy of honor, warrior. I have never faced your equal. Take this. Tilera herself granted me this blade for the slaying of the Tuatha champion Zerastes. But you deserve it more than I. The Alpha honor you, champion. May the Tuatha fear your coming.
I'm sure they do. And if they don't, they're stupid.
Go with Lyria.
Which, in fairness, they might be. Oh, I've just picked up their Longsword of Ferocity. That's just a Silver Knight Longsword. With a chance to steal 20 mana per hit. It's not really worth it, to be honest. To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Yeah, that's according to the Schwarzenegger Conan film. But that's not the only what is best in life response. Cohen the Barbarian of Discworld, he believes that good dentistry, soft toilet paper, and what was the last one? Damn, I can't remember. I want to look it up now. Cohen the Barbarian is basically Conan the Barbarian, but like 90 years old. And like practically everything in Terry Pratchett's Discworld is fantastic. Ah yes, hot water, good dentistry, and soft lavatory paper is what is best in life to Cohen the Barbarian. It feels a bit churlish to add this to junk because I don't want to keep it, and I don't want to break it down for the parts because I wouldn't use them. Sounds like Conan the Snowflake. He's just an old man who values. Well, I wouldn't use any of the components in Longsword of Ferocity. I don't care about stealing mana, and I'm not going to get anything else good out of it, I don't think. Also, it's interesting to note that the origins of the term snowflake as an insult are from the book Fight Club, wherein Tyler Durden uses it derogatorily towards people. It's a mocking term for the kind of people that use it now as an insult. Yeah, I'll sell it. Oops, no, I want weapons. There we go. Oh, more quests. Nice.
You, stop! State your business.
Keep your hands off me, fool. I'm no Tuatha. I must speak with the Siegebreaker.
Ooh, interesting.
Greetings.
Let's talk to Captain Drefn.
You're the one who slew the Baelor. Honor to you, champion. I command the Ariad. We are warrior scouts, the eyes of the Alfar. My men are scouting the Tuatha's retreat, though I fear I may have lost even them to this cursed forest.
Aelin Shear, she's a possible spouse. She's in the camp. I tried it at the end of the game. I tried taking the conversation options that looked like they would lead to a romance. I think you have to convince her. Maybe. It was a while ago, and I don't remember exactly how the conversation went. Maybe there is a persuasion element. But I guess we'll find out.
I have been leading the Ariad for many seasons now. I may not have the flair that some of our other leaders do, but I get the job done. Don't care what happened on the wall. Talara was a great general, through and through. She'll always be a hero to the Ariad, and to me. My men and I are glad to be free of its walls. It is about time the brass decides to unleash us on these Tuatha dogs. Aye, Cluracan's doomed to drown in blood. Mark my words. The men and women of the Ariad are handpicked for possessing a very particular set of skills.
Nice.
We are the eyes of the Alfar forces. It is our responsibility to move among the enemy, to watch and wait, and when necessary, to kill. Vile creatures. The sooner we kill them all, the better.
There are 3 possible romance options in Amalur. Aelin Shear, the Maid of Windermere, if you spare her, or Queen Belmaid, if you save her. So that's interesting. Interesting that there aren't any male romance options.
They are overdue. My men are never late. They are either where they are supposed to be, or they are dead. In fact, if you are venturing out into the forest, may I prevail upon you for aid?
Yeah, sure.
3 of my men are missing. If you discover any evidence of what befell them within the Cursewood, let me know. Warrior to warrior, I would be in your debt. And if it would sweeten the pot, there'd be gold for you as well. It's been called that ever since they laid the foundations of Mel Sinshir. Even the smallest of plants and critters can kill you out here. Deep within the Cursewood, most likely. I sent 3 soldiers into the forest to track the movements of the Tuatha. Where that took them is anybody's guess. Later then.
The one I seek.
Indeed. How's it going, dude? Cydan.
It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Cydan the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows.
Ooh.
I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy.
The Tuatha. It's interesting. His bow appears to have been carven into the shape of probably a pair of horses, which you don't usually see on bows. I finished Ballad's questline. Oh, cool. Did you have... I is now the king. Did you have high enough curse breaking to free the various members of the House of Ballads? Or were you first forced to kill them?
I am Cydan the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign.
Sounds good. Oh, he's got unique armor. Pair of skulls on the shoulders. Interesting. No, I kicked the shit out of all of them. Oh, that's a shame. Well, I mean, maybe not a shame, including the king. Clearly, it was what you wanted to do. Did you know that you could save them? Or did you just go in and beat them up?
Clearly, I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy.
To be honest, I didn't know. That's a shame. Yeah, I had high enough dispelling to be able to free the 2 outside the castle before you go in. Kreth and Eomer. But then once I got inside, the dispelling requirement was higher, and so I accidentally killed one of them before it occurred to me to check. And it turns out, yes, you can free all of them if your dispelling is high enough. I usually look these things up, but I think I did the same shit back on the 360 years ago, so it's DNA imprinted. Fair enough. The Tuatha.
Indeed. You accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Daon are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflo's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foes Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there.
Nice. He's got brethren. Cool. So he represents the remains of the true Winter Court. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about as well. It was my fate to become the king through mass murder.
Yes, I travelled with Agarth back in his prime. But those are stories for another time.
Oh, he knew Agarth.
I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her.
I think Aelin has got an admirer.
We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses. And those who escaped Prismia Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights. And for that, we will take their lives to restore a balance once again.
The odd thing is, all chests in my kingdom still have the red hand on them, as if I am not allowed to loot them, and if I take anything it's considered stealing. That is a bit weird. I wonder whether... Is that still the case in Re-Reckoning? Because it seems like that would be an oversight. Like, if you take over... Yeah, weird. It seems like an oversight to me. Like, if you take over Windermere's castle and become the king, yeah, that stuff should belong to you. Bit weird that it's still considered stealing.
I am Cydan the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to my kind. The Winterfey have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflow and his new god. For House and Heartbreak, I shall end his reign. We have walked these lands for countless ages, always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. But he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch.
Well, there is, unfortunately. But, we're gonna beat the shit out of her as well.
The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Tuatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary.
The weird part is that the percent for taking the items is set to 0% even if marked red. So it's like you will not get in trouble for taking them, but it's stealing. Pure hypocrisy. Yeah, well... The stealing thing... The percent makes sense if you're being watched by someone else. So, like, the percent will indicate whether you are being observed. But then... And I didn't notice any house for me to sleep in. That's a bit weird as well. So the percent has a function, but what I don't understand is why, when it's at 0, you still can't sell any of the things that you've stolen to official sellers. Because there shouldn't be any way of them knowing that they're stolen.
The House of Vengeance was a place of fierce honor and stoic determination that made granite seem soft and fickle. But not anymore. When Gadflow rose up, he unleashed their bottled hatred and turned it against the mortals. Now, they're led by a vicious cur, more beast than fey.
People were in the room looking at me, so I don't know why it was 0%. And you need to find a fencer to sell stolen items. Yeah, I know about that. People looking at you and it's still staying at 0% is a bit weird. Maybe that's the balance that they were able to strike? I mean, it might be a function of the container itself. Either, when it's placed, either it is private and taking from it would be stealing, or public and taking from it is fine. Wherein, in order for them to change its state from one to the other, they have to replace it entirely. So you would probably lose whatever it was that was contained within.
Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly.
Before I was king, they had a % higher than 0. Oh, okay. Yeah, it must be that when you become king, which I can't remember at the moment, but I know because I checked. Fair enough. It must be that when you become king, the % for it being a problem gets set to 0, because presumably they have no other way of acknowledging the fact that you're the king. But I've got no real insights into the way that the game functions, so I can't explain it at all.
Prismere has always grown in our lands, but only with a surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem.
That's interesting.
When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of the summer court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. Tuatha have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them. By the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the corpse collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I have no memory of that either. It's worth knowing.
We're only a shadow of what we were before Godflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. I'd rather not talk here. Pluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foes Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there.
Even if this is a trick and an ambush, which I don't think that it is, even if that were the case,
be careful.
I wouldn't be remotely worried.
Can be treacherous.
Ah, so they're gazelles carved into his bow. That's interesting. I don't think the position of the... So you would hold the bow like this, and the horns would come back over the arm, which maybe, I mean, you don't typically swing a bow around, so you'd probably be alright, actually. Might be a little bit impractical, but... Ooh, hidden thing. What is this hidden thing? Pile of rocks. Jonk. Hold on, what am I using? Okay, yeah. So these are the locations of the... Okay, that's the unknown warrior who helped the Alpha dude in here. These are different scouts, and that's almost in the Midden. Okay. I wonder where the Baelor's corpse has gone. Did it disappear? Back into wherever the Niskaru come from, or is it still in that corridor of land? Giant rats. Lovely. Rat meat. Also just rat meat. rat meat. Kind of wish I hadn't picked up that quest now. I'm not going to loot a grave. That's morbid. I think I have done it before, but I kind of regret doing that because that's not who I want my character to be. I wonder why this was left here. Hurrah! Yeah, let's take all of it. You can't add crafting components to... hello. Can't add crafting components to junk to sell, presumably because they don't actually take up any space in your inventory, which is fair enough. But it does mean that my crafting component collection is becoming a bit unwieldy at this point, I think. Man, I was hoping he'd still be alive, but I think, in fairness, it was fairly unlikely. Hatred bark, a blood-soaked journal. Most of this journal is too soaked with blood to be readable. That's a shame. Ilera herself has arrived with someone. They say she bears a weapon capable of defeating the demon. I do not know, but I hope it is true. Journal of Jalnar Reigen. Cool. 6 years of fighting. I do not remember when they stopped paying me, but I stay. Something about these Alfar. They do not speak our language or listen to the sea and storm, but they have a sort of honour, and the Tuatha. Those dogs deserve to die. They are monstrous, like nothing nature has ever blessed. I fight now because I have seen what they do, and I know in my heart I must not be... It must not be good. Tomorrow it will be over, one way or another. If I survive, I will go home to the Ice Brine and see my brother. That's a shame. We found out what happened to him, at least. And it's revealed an unfortunate situation of the mercenaries apparently not being paid.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned as ever, but inside the bones of the earth there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented. A magic hitherto unseen.
I wonder whether this is a course that was supposed to have been carven by the Baelor, or whether this was here before. It's a spiky wall, isn't it? That doesn't look like any fun to interact with. Oh, Mergen. I suppose that makes sense. We are in a swamp. What's over here? Somehow missed it. Oh, it must be on top. Oh no, hold on. It's the hollow log. There we go. Ooh, that's a Prismere helm. I'll have it with that. Break it down and make it into something new that I actually want. Just an ice shard. We're nearly at the exit of the zone. Yeah, we are. Okay. Let's head up here then. Very important that we get as much black cohosh as we possibly can, just in case we need it at any point in the future. That's a bog thrush. Bollocks. Cut it out. Go away. No one likes you. Oh, I leveled up by finding a hollow log. Junk, don't care. Junk. Don't care. Okie dokie. Let's level up. Sage crafting is the only one that's not at least at 5. So we'll take that. And with that, almost all of them are even, except for blacksmithing and persuasion. Razor-sharp blades of your weapons cut into your foes with ease. With this ability active, critical hit damage for long swords, daggers, fey blades, and great swords is substantially increased. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply... Oh no, daggers. Okay, maybe it's worth taking for daggers then. What's this? Secret techniques enable you to extend the duration of your poison and bleeding attacks. Also increases shadow flare damage. Which is this? Can't unlock that because we haven't been unlocking bow stuff. Smoke bomb. Unlocks special attacks and from dodge. Ooh. That's cool. Throw down a smoke screen to stun enemies and blind them to your presence for a short duration. Deals 7 damage and stuns enemies for 2 seconds. You are hidden from detection for 6 seconds. That's quite cool too. I think we want to take this though. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of dodging with daggers. So being able to attack from dodging sounds cool. Knowledge of Eldritch Frost allows you to extend the duration of all freezing effects. That might be nice. Mastery over the power of fire allows you to increase the effectiveness of all burning effects. That sounds cool too. I'm not sure how useful that is. I'm not really... Well, I mean, I probably am in close combat often enough that it counts. What's this? Unlocks delayed special attacks from chakrams and stuff. Elemental escape. A delayed attack with the chakrams, damaging enemies while launching yourself back out of danger. That might be useful. I got attacks have a chance to siphon health from enemies and send it to you. Maybe I just want to increase the damage that Mark of Flame does. And might. Your refined battle techniques allow you to reflect damage back at your opponents whenever a relentless assault is in effect. Go into a berserker rage, dealing greater and greater amounts of damage with each enemy you defeat in a short time. Let's take that. We've almost got enough points spent to finally get Universalist, but not quite. That'll happen next level. Oh, no, not that one. Abilities. Oh no, it's already assigned. Cool. Okay. Let's see whether we can creep up on that blasted thresh. Where's it gone? It was here and it despawned. It seems. Let's use Berserk Fury, shall we? What's Niskaru doing here? Probably all rat meat. But sometimes the rats do have extra things, extra loot. So I think it is worth checking. What weird effects there are on my hands now, eh? Oh, and it's just always active. It has reduced my mana availability by a huge amount. But it's just always active now. That's interesting. It's awfully convenient and considerate of the rat to leave its meat in a sack there for me. Raw. Ooh, that one had loot too. Minor healing potion. That's not really worth it, is it? Play it again, Sam. I'm afraid I don't get the reference. What do we have over here waiting for us? And a bog thresh. Bollocks. Dealt with that bog thresh rather handily. Ooh. Prismacuras. Just a random chest. That hasn't been opened. Well, lockpick. One lockpick. Hidden inside an entire to be honest, I use minor pots as a safeguard. Rats, you dirty rat, film of Casablanca. Ah, okay. I've never actually watched Casablanca. But I appreciate the journey that the joke went on. I didn't get it, but I like that you created it. 70% chance. I'll give that a shot. Hooray! I don't need any more dread scale. I've already got a spare. Piece of dreadscale. Shattertier mine. Looks like these guys had a bad time. What does bolstering do? Just physical damage. Okay. That's junk. Don't think I care. Alright, this is one of the scouts I was sent out to find. Cool. Wonder if he's got a quest sending me into Shattertier.
Hail.
Yes, I have.
What are you doing out here? Did Captain Drafan send you?
He did indeed.
Tell him I'll be along shortly. I've got some unfinished business brewing here.
My dispelling is so low, I get cursed almost every time I try that. Fair enough. I'm a bit of a weirdo playing as a Universalist build, I think. My understanding is that people pick 1 or 2 fields to focus in on. I don't know how people tend to go with skills, but the fact that I'm playing a Universalist means that I can spread my skill points around rather than try and focus in on one or, well, a few disciplines that I think I most want to use.
Leader of the Ariad and my commander. We are scouts who serve the Alfar interests in Cluricon. Drafan's a stickler for the rules, but that's all right. Sometimes rules are useful.
You have to know the rules before you start breaking them.
I don't remember what I did before the war. That time is all hazy to me now. I've been killing for so long, I wonder if even my family would recognize me.
I'm sure they'd be happy to see you.
Don't get me wrong. I owe the walls of that fortress. They saved my life 12 times over, but I'm glad to be out in the world again. It's where I do my best work. By unfinished business, I mean Deadeye, Tuatha assassin, responsible for hundreds of Alfar deaths in the war.
I'll go
the
get him.
Two of us just crossed paths here in the wood not half a day past. I hunted the monsters to Shattertier mines. You're the hero of Mel Sinshir, right? Think you can lend a hand?
Absolutely. Mate, are we going to be going in together? That'd be cool.
Deadeye's inside. I don't dare to go in alone. Hundreds of my brethren have fallen to that creature.
Fair.
You killed the Baelor.
I did indeed.
So I'll stand here and cover the exit with my bow. You can venture into Shattertier and hunt the hunter, so to speak.
So you're not going to go in even with me? Fair enough. I mean, I have no expectation that you would go in, and you probably just slow me down. At best, manage to avoid dying whilst I kill Deadeye, but yeah. Fair enough, I'll do that.
No one knows her actual Tuatha name. I probably couldn't pronounce it even if I did. What I do know is that she doesn't miss. Not with that fabled bow of hers. As I said, hundreds of my fallen brothers bear witness to that.
Well, even if she doesn't miss, she's still got to do a lot of damage for me to take notice. And I'll be rushing in close with a pair of daggers or chakrams.
Judging from the amount of blood I've seen, Deadeye's probably wounded pretty bad.
Oh.
Which means gutting the monster will be all the more risky. Don't underestimate the danger. Farewell.
She's not at full capacity. Killing her won't be quite as much of an accomplishment. But it doesn't matter that much. There's a Tuatha back there. Isn't there? Is what I saw the Bolgan thug down there? Oh, it is. Oh, okay. I'll break them down and try and get them as a component. Why am I not allowed out of... Oh, okay. It's just you, my dude. You've got your back to the door, which is not a good idea. Ooh. A unique kill animation. Slash the back of his leg. Stab him in the back. Nice. Oh, no, wrong button. There we are. Don't need to keep sneaking. Pile of rocks. I wonder how much mana I've actually got left. 124 of 821. And how much does lunge cost? 60 mana. I could get 2 lunges in with the mana I've got available. Oh, that's alright. I don't usually use it that close together, and you can't anyway because of the... you can't spam it because it's got a cooldown. Which I think kind of sucks. It'd be nice to be able to spam lunge, but oh well. Ugh, brownies. Don't like them. Pile of rocks. King's Greatsword. Oh yeah, that'll be 80 health, won't it? There we go. I don't think I care about just 80 health. Like if it was robust and it had 80 of both health and mana, then I would take it and break it down, but I don't. I think I've already got components that give you 80 health or 80 mana separately. So... Oh hey, that's a jump down point. So it's a loop. Cool. Okay. Deadeye, Bolgans, and there's a route off here as well. Cool. What does that do? Chance of critical hit. That might be worth breaking down, actually. I'm probably running out of space in my inventory as well. Although I did just buy a backpack that increased my capacity by 10, so maybe I won't be running out of space quite as quickly as I had thought, which is nice. Oh, hello. Wonder if I can sneak up on these guys. Not very good at sneaking, for all that I enjoy it. What's their route like? Okay, just turned around. Let's move. Let's roll. Cut that out. That didn't go remotely the way I'd hoped. Oh well. Longsword of S. Laughter. Bleeding damage over time, I don't really care about that. I do damage quickly enough that I don't care about doing bleeding damage. Wonder what that's a cave exit. Wonder what's up here. Foes Hearth. Huh. Does that take me to... Interesting. That would take me out to Foes Hearth, which is where I'm supposed to meet, what's his face? Cydan. I kind of don't want to do that just yet, because it seems like the only exits are well, I thought the only entrance was here, and I feel like that's running the risk of getting too close to the Midden and discovering the Midden and setting its level. So the only other entrance and exit would be here, and if I went through here, I would have to run out through this long cave every time. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just leave it for a while. Leave it to be the last thing that I do. Can I sneak up on her? No. Oh, that's a Bolgan. A pair of Bolgans, in fact. Who were summoned by me crossing a threshold? Ah, bugger it. I'll stop sneaking and just come and say hello. How's it going? Why wasn't I rolling? There we go. I was being boosted by a couple of kills. Ooh. Well, they're not magic. They're just white and they're electric, which I already have a set of, so I don't care. I'll have all the rest of those. Oh, but I recovered the lockpicks that I used to open. Ooh. Got to go. Oh, okay, fair enough. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the time that you spent here. And I hope to see you again. Sin. Let's compare these. It's not very good damage. Looted from a Tuatha assassin, unseelie fey in design, extravagant in its deadliness. This bow is crafted for the one-shot kill. Physical damage, chance to critical hit, and critical hit damage. Nice. Let's have a look at the cosmetics of it. Yeah, that's almost an ebony prismere bow, isn't it? But not quite. Take time to break down. So I'd already have run out of space if I hadn't increased my bag space. Savant daggers. That's going to be mana, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, again, if it were 80 of each, then I'd break them down. But since it's 80 of one, but not both, I'll just sell them. Let's have all of them. Thank you. And then we'll leave and take a short visit to Mel Sinshir to sell junk, I think. I'm glad he didn't shoot me. That would have been awkward.
Deadeye is finished then. Well done, warrior. Take this gold for your troubles. And now I best return to Captain Drafan. He'll want a full report.
Indeed.
Farewell.
So, it's just fast travel. Oh, and we end up inside.
Hail,
That's
warrior.
handy.
I've got plenty of supplies if you've got plenty of coin.
But what if I've got plenty of supplies that I want plenty of your kind for? That's almost 100,000 gold. Nice.
When that Niskaru appeared, I thought that was it. Mel Sinshir would fall. No one else in this world could have slain that demon. I thank Lyria you were here with us. The greatest of generals. I heard that when the Niskaru came, she gave her life in order to protect us. I've lived in Mel Sinshir all my life. Sold my first potion when I was no taller than a boggart.
Huh. That's not very tall at all.
It was my home before the war started, and it will be my home long after, no matter the outcome. I'm back again.
Yeah. Let's head back to Chantry. Oop, no, wrong way. And continue on through the zone, although there's not much zone left, really. Just got to find Drafan's scout and then, I guess, head on to the Midden. By way of Foes Hearth, I guess. I wonder what beast that is the cry of. Makes me think of dinosaur. Take it and break it down, I think.
Winter is strong in this place. When first the Fae walked into its depths, it bore great fossils, bones of beasts greater and more terrifying than we Fae. But for all their strength, the earth at their feet lasted longer. It sapped their strength, their life, their flesh.
I wonder if she's talking about the giant monsters that we found skeletons of in the Hollows and other places in the tier. Ah, here's the thresh. It's lucky it's facing away from us. Good night. Yes, stinker. Ooh, Scourgebane. Nice. Hello. That looks like it'll be a greatsword. Probably. Something about this pool is suspicious to me. I was thinking we'd get ambushed, but apparently not. Oh, there's a search point. Stout Signet, which means they'll have a bunch of health, I think. It's a real shame that you can't break rings down for their components and craft jewellery. That'd be cool. Oh well. Easy. Nice. Oh. Come on. Hooray! Little rice. And some junk to sell. What do you reckon? This place has spiders in it. We met some spiders when we were out here, and there's lots of webs. But I reckon it's Mergen. That sounds right.
A group of Winter Fae, called the House of Sorrows, have built their lives around the Midden. They feed and tend the bodies there, and sanctify the ground with what dead they bring. It is they who preserve the culture of our people, and make this the cradle of winter. For their part, they have been given a beacon, a small sapling of white bark and red leaves, growing from the bodies in the Midden. They call it the Hallowed Tree.
So this is the Hallowed Tree, is it? What are these? Spooders. Yes, I thought so. And a credit. Wonderful. Stop that. Hooray! Bonus damage. Dead useful. I'll have all of them. Oh, it's a shame. Scout's dead. Tuatha hand wraps. Interesting. Sorcery. King Gadflo dresses Tuatha Deon mages uniformly in these sumptuous Prismere-studded enchanted garments. So it would gain me... well, this just gives me 10% mana regen per sec, which isn't great, especially when the armor is garbage. But more pieces of the set would give 20% elemental resistance, 25% mana, 2 mana regen per sec, which isn't great, gotta be honest. Let's see what they look like. Ooh, they're quite fancy, aren't they? That looks like a tube of Prismere that's been like a block of Prismere that's been hollowed out so you can stick your hand through, which seems impractical, but okay. Well, maybe not impractical, but prohibitively difficult. Although it does seem like certainly the Tuatha have some kind of Prismere shaping ability. I wonder whether we're going to get given a quest to go in here. 7 Widow Mine. 7 Widows. That's going to be about spiders, isn't it? Oh well, let's head in. Let's see what's going on. Jump point, pile of rocks, jump point. We probably won't be able to get in through here. Oh, okay. There we go. What's up with this jump point? Is it a jump down? Yes, it is. Oh, okay. The intention is that we go in through here and come down there. This light effect on the hands is very weird, isn't it? It's poison and berserk, and the fact that it's green and red together is it's clashing a little bit. Spoders! What a surprise. Mine number 7 ledger. Find Spiritweave hand wraps. That mine ledge is probably going to be a quest objective. Leatherbound book is caked in dust and soot. Oop, no, I didn't mean to do that. Read. As maintained by Overman Mallon. Mine number 7. Forewoman Adele. 25th day of winter. Received. Crate 1. Picks, shovels, hammers, rope, block and tackle, winches. Crate 2. Minecar parts. Crate 3. Lumber. 5 Almain. Not in crates then. Hewers. Shipped. Received. Shipped. 45th day. Crate 1, unknown crystals. Crate 2, unknown crystals. I probably don't need that, actually. And the fact that I can interact with it and put it in junk probably means that it's not a quest objective. I don't think that they let you accidentally sell quest objectives. Armor of Illyria. Chance to critical hit with magic. Interesting. Well, I don't care about that. Dodged because I thought that one of them was going to start spitting venom, but it turns out no. Curious about what the ebony scepters look like. Despite its age, the binding of this book is still tight. Still tight. Nice. Read. 13th of winter. Arrived today with the first of the winter supplies. Sinker Tivins injured in partial collapse of northwestern stope. 2 barrels of oil and 4 lengths of prop lost. We'll need a week to rebuild. However, we are beginning the first long wall shaft tomorrow. Guards needed for spider infestation. They seem to be attracted to the miners. 4th of winter. Tivin's condition has worsened. We'll send back with next shipment. The work on the long wall shaft has begun as scheduled. Flooding is still a problem in the lowest stope. Lost 4 groovers to a nest of large spiders. Requesting more groovers for long haul. 15th of winter. Cold weather. Prop Bobby Kalam advised that the stalls in the pit eye need shoring despite the light overburden. Some dissension amongst the hewers. Overman Mallon reprimanded. Lost Sinker Tivins. Ah, that's a shame. 16th winter. First large deposit of iron mined. Very little in tailings. Morale up. Spiders killed 2 ponies, buying another one from locals. Asaya is coming tomorrow to inspect the newest areas of the long wall. 17th winter. More work done on the long wall. The Asaya has found a rich vein for expansion. He also said it's not part of the country rock. Banksman Eric killed by spiders near the pit head. We'll need more guards stationed everywhere. That sucks. More spooders! What a surprise! Oh, this place is bigger than I thought. Let's continue around here and then come back this way. Definitely seems like this place has been taken over by spiders, eh? Lands shorts. Battle frenzy doesn't last long, does it? Annoying that enemy ranged attacks clip through their allies, so that venom spitter was able to shoot a venom shot through this giant spider. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at... Oh, I've got Scourgebane, haven't I? Completely forgot about that. I wanted to look at this. Okay, that's interesting. And... yeah, greatsword, as I thought. That's fancy though, isn't it? And the damage isn't bad. 90 health, lightning damage. Just a flat 25 lightning damage. And also freezing damage over 3 seconds. Gaudy and impractical in name and ornamentation, this sword is surprisingly light, graceful, and impossibly sharp. Still slowed speed, though. And these hooky bits down here would be an enormous pain in the arse to keep sharp. In fact, during use, they'd probably just snap off. Alright. Back to daggers. Oops. It's a wonder they bother. They're obviously aware enough of your character to hide. So quite why they're not aware enough to like... oh, it's a jump down, okay. Quite why they're not aware enough to watch and see you slaughter the others. Don't know. Okay, yeah, there's not much there. That's just a short walk up for some reason. Okay. Pile of rocks. And then out.
Greater, I've got plenty of supplies if you've got plenty of coin.
Cool. Do I not have anything else to sell? Yeah, I want to sell that. I wanted to keep that, didn't I? Don't need 2 sets, I've got one already. Oh yeah. Probably should put that in my stash. Along with these two.
Come back again.
So let's fast travel to Kenarok. Just off we go. Nice. Let's just oh yeah, go back to Mel Sinshir. There's a quest to hand in there, isn't there? Over here.
Well met.
A journal? Let me see. This book looks like it might belong to the man who saved my life. He speaks of a brother in a place called the Icebrine Coast. Perhaps when the war is over, I will travel there and tell this man how his brother died. Thank you, champion. This book has brought me some small measure of peace.
I thought that might be the way it would go. Ah, somebody up here with a quest, I see.
I have waited some time for you to come, Siegebreaker, and it seems that my patience has, at least, been worthwhile. The House of Sorrows has need of your might. Aid us, and you will earn a strong ally in the war against the Tuatha De'On. Like your Alfar allies, we Winterfey suffer under the Tuatha's onslaught. And like the Alfar, we Winterfey need a champion. But it is a difficult position we are in, mortal. The Fae are not like your kind. We have different priorities, different threats. We need someone who understands that. You may call me Bizarrain. I represent one of the great houses of the Winter Court, the House of Sorrows. This war with the Tuatha has worn the house to all but dust. We Fae are ill-equipped to handle such change. But your kind, you mortals, can bear it.
Cool. I'll help.
It is not a simple task I asked of you. I have only approached you because you show the potential of use. You must still prove your worth. Go to the Midden and find the place called the Proving Halls. This Hearthstone will grant you access. Once you are within the halls, my questions will be answered.
So I'll probably need to kill a bunch of stuff. I expect. Hello, Scooter. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Wonder how it stacks. Oops, no. I want abilities. Come on, there we go. Oh, it's already up to 2, thanks to something giving me +1 to all might abilities. Oh hey, welcome, Vincenti. Nice to see you. You know, I don't like a bald head fae. I'm sorry, dealing with everything I've been through with the Tuatha, you can't blame me. Fair enough. Just investigating Berserker Rage, or Battle Frenzy. 40% total damage increased unlocked after your 3rd consecutive kill. Battle Frenzy buff lasts 11 seconds. Each kill resets the duration. Next level will be 60% total damage. Unlocked after your 4th consecutive kill. That's weird. That it goes further out. Maybe you still get... the first level must have been plus 20% after 2nd kill. So maybe it increases, like, after the 2nd kill, 20%, after the 3rd kill, 40%, and it increases upwards. That'd be nice if it worked that way. Ooh, a chest. I'll have them. Ah, these are Arathi.
Can't believe
ruins.
we beat you here.
Ah.
Cydan knows some amazing shortcuts through this place.
And Agarth.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times.
Oh, so can I.
As the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free winter fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of sorrow, pride, and vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful.
So is the House of Sorrows dude that we met outside just trying to trick us, do you suppose? I mean, it won't do him any good, but it'd be interesting to find out whether he's actually free of the Tuatha influence or whether he's trying to be devious.
You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride as well as the House of Vengeance.
Well, only briefly.
A way to strike at their heart, a way to reach Gadflow himself. And we know how you can get there.
Cool.
Blind him, cut out his tongue, draw the venom from our land. Only then will we be able to begin to strike at Alabastra. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Gadflow's ability to infect its land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered.
Nice plan.
When this is done, we'll take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra.
Sounds good. Ooh.
The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Cluricon. From here, Gadflow watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every winter fae. No fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Court can be free until those abominations are destroyed. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Gadflow will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly.
Good to know.
Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
So south and east. Chantry, Chantry, Chantry. That's not east of here. That's west. Well, they all are south, of course.
We thought our house was invincible. We never imagined that it could be corrupted from within.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against the Tuatha.
Yeah, I was about to say that. There's not many of them left, is there?
We have lost so much. But we shall not lose our minds as well.
These Fae have formed quite a fighting force. It'll be good to have them on our side. Gigantic red pillar with the image of Gadflow? We saw one of those back in Dalantar.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
It seems so long ago. If they're everything Cydan says they are, sounds like Gadflow is trying to get a foothold in Dalantar.
Good thing we destroyed it then, eh?
The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land.
Except for me.
Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Gadflow was the one who started the damn war.
Yeah, you don't get to start a fight and then be vengeful over the people that you've lost because you started a fight.
Old Cydan's a snake, but he's still on our side. Why, I remember when he helped rescue my fiancée from Rassilon, back in my younger days. Of course, she called off the wedding and just mooned over Cydan after all that. He has that effect.
That's a shame.
I had wondered what happened to the Winter Fae when Gadflow took control. Seems that they formed the Bitter Frost. They've got as much to fight for as our kind, and nothing left to lose. We couldn't ask for a better ally. Sounds like that thing in the Dalantarth cave when Gadflow talked to us. Kill the guards, smash the crystals, and that should sort them out. Be careful around the Chantries. Even you can't be immune to Gadflow's power.
Bet I can. In here anyway. Just a series of locked doors. Oh, those are statues of Niskaru. That bodes ill. There was a Bolgan. Probably not going to have a chance to sneak up on them, unfortunately. Mainly because of the bar guests that are in there. They have a tendency to shift around a lot. Amazed that neither of these noticed. Damage bonus. How did I unlock shock and awe? What's the criteria? I'll have to investigate later. Didn't quite manage to keep the bonus from Battle Frenzy to kill him, but it wasn't like I needed it once I got him down to a sliver of health. Prismate Chakrams. I've already got a pair of Prismate Chakrams. In fact, I've got 3 pairs of Prismate Chakrams, one of each elemental affinity, so I don't need any more. Ooh. Average. Let's give it a go. Nice. King Scepter, Junk, Vigorous. Ooh, that's worth breaking down for parts. Long sort of ferocity. What does that do? Oh, okay. Junk it. I don't care about stealing mana per hit. I'm a little surprised there aren't any traps in here. I do also wonder how the Bolgans managed to get in and the House of Sorrows didn't notice. Unless they got here first, I suppose. And have just stayed in here. Nuts. Ha! Stab. Nothing to pick up over there. Probably not going to be able to sneak up on any of these guys. Battle Frenzy really helps in situations where you're against more than one opponent. Arilla's robe. Interesting. Let's find out what that's about. Nice colours. Red, gold and black. Praying to Arilla for the favour of a haughty mistress, a shabby apprentice received this gift to gain an archmage's love. Wow. Wild. %30 mana regen per sec. 13% ice resist. Get more ice resist. Extra mana and chance to freeze enemies when attacked. That's not terrible. Oh right, I forgot to put those in with my into my stash, didn't I? If I picked them up before I went to my stash, I don't remember anymore. Ooh, a lore stone.
My friends used me for their own gain, and why not? I was, after all, a powerful sorceress who commanded the elements and conjured fear in the heart of any who would oppose her. Oliskar, my apprentice, the entire time was inciting the rabble against me, the witch. You should have known better than to trust him. And Atham, of course, right there, stealing from my library and purse. How could you be such a fool? Atham was someone I thought I could trust.
Interesting that apparently a human or alpha managed to get in here and record, make that recording. However long ago. Oh, these didn't close behind me.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against the Tuatha.
This is the last of the scouts, and because it doesn't have the little... I mean, this is a red arrow, but this is an arrow that indicates an NPC, and this doesn't have one of those, so that indicates to me that the last of Druffin's scouts are no longer with us. Take all of that. Nice. Who's this to? Oh, Lyria. Never mind then. Why is there a dagger on here? Lyria doesn't... or a short sword, maybe. Lyria doesn't require blood sacrifice, does she? That doesn't seem in character. Yeah, there we go. Last of the scouts. Ooh, Chaucer's of the Fey Hunter. Anselm Fey Hunter swore to hunt the godless Fey to extinction. The Fey, admiring his courage and armour, cheerfully slew him from ambush. Which is the best approach you can take to someone who thinks that you are godless and wants to kill you. Bring you to extinction, in fact. I've got another piece of gear from the Chaucer's, from the Fey Hunter set somewhere. I suppose the scout was wearing plate armor, though. Actually, that's a bit weird. Oops, hit the wrong button. There's a second thing here. What is it? Oh, pile of rocks. There we go. Ring of the Mystic, which presumably gives you 80 mana, I expect. Ooh, that's a big skeleton. And that's a big tree. I wonder who these guys are. And what's going on over here? Sorrows. House of Sorrows. Leonashe. Not impressed. I mean, I can only take that. I can't add it to junk. Little though I need it. I have picked up a quest that I could hand in, or picked up the last bit of a quest and can therefore hand it in. But coming back here would be tricky, given that I haven't discovered any locations in here that I could fast travel back to. So I'm not going to just yet. For the sake of convenience. And yeah, this is a tunnel into a new area which I'm not going to explore yet. Which area would that be? The Keening. We heard talk in Candrian, in Melaglir, about people being taken to somewhere called the Keening. That's interesting. I guess we'll find out. Ah, House of Sorrows, there we go. And Proving Halls is down here. Okay. Really hope the House of Sorrows is friendly. Let's discover. There we go. House of Sorrows. How's it going, chaps?
We are the faithful of the House of Sorrows, mortal. Take care of where you tread, for this is hallowed ground.
Anayak.
You have come, as he said you might. Have you found our king, Bizarrain, waiting for you in Cursewood? The Winter Fae need your help, but it is only Bizarrain's place to tell you of our plight. Remember.
I wonder what skill trainer she is. Okay, yeah, I can fast travel to Mel Sinshir. Alright, whilst I'm in here, next to a trader.
The hero of Mel. I've got plenty of supplies if you've got.
Sell junk. There we go.
Plenty of coin. Come back again.
Nip out to the Scoutmaster outside.
When the greater Niskaru arrive.
Greetings. So 2 are dead and Herc still lives. That is good news at the least. Though I'll need to have words with him about refusing to check in when he was supposed to. Still, I owe you much. Take this gold in gratitude. Perhaps in the coming days we can work together again.
Elias Herc.
He's a good scout, although he is a little too independent at times. Later then.
Wonder what Anayan Shear has to say.
Off into the swamps, I assume? Cydan's band of merciless Fae with lifetimes of training and everything to fight for? Yes, I think they'll be quite useful allies indeed. I've heard tales of his work, half trickster, half spirit of vengeance. Prismere can channel tremendous magical power. An entire chantry of it could be dangerous.
What's a
It
chantry?
wouldn't just transmit the voice and image of Gadflow. It'd transmit his thoughts and will to those around it, too. Believe it or not, the House of Sorrows is the most welcoming of the Unseelie houses. Then again, a viper nest is friendlier than the houses of pride and vengeance.
A chantry, also known as a Chantry Chapel, is a memorial or even a complete building dedicated to the memory of a person or family. In the medieval period, it was common for wealthy patrons of a church to give a grant of money to pay for a priest to say prayers for themselves and their family. Interesting. I don't know why they'd be chantries then, given that a chantry is a place of remembrance. I mean, I suppose superficially the smaller non-building sized chantries do look like kind of monument things, but thematically there's nothing tying the two together, I wouldn't have thought.
I've heard of them. Farther to the south and east. Listen for the sound of Gadflow's sermons, and you're sure to find them. Good hunting.
I note that you're not going to do anything useful. At least Agarth went out and found some allies to hang out with, make friends with. Drop some stuff off. Fast travel back. Oops, wrong mate. I don't have any memories of doing this last time I played. And again, it was like 7 years ago, so it's not really surprising that my memory is incomplete. Oh, there we go. Proving halls.
Solemn, solemn, hallowed tree. Glory to the graveyard be. Far from forests of the west, do the dying have this rest.
Do we meet someone in here? Just find the proving holes. Okay. That's an interesting object.
And so you have come, whether to aid the house or rain punishment on the Tuatha, I do not know. That you are here is enough. To assuage your confusion, I am Bizarrain, king of the house. During your trials, I will observe and communicate to you through this medium. This is about you, of course. You are the only mortal to be given a chance to join the House of Sorrows. But do not think such an offer is given out of honor or respect for you. What drives me to this offer is what brought you here. Necessity. Through the crystal you see before you, it is not magical in and of itself, but a conduit for my own magic. All your actions will be known to me. Every word will be listened to. What you do is of no concern to me. What I hope to evaluate is what you are, to know how you might best help the house. I have locked the way behind you. The way forward is your only path out of these halls. I can tell you no more, other than that I will be watching.
Stab. Nice. Vulnerable to fire as well. That's handy. I keep forgetting that. Ooh. Misric's demise. Let's look at what. Have a look at what that looks like. Oh no, wrong one. No, god damn it. There we go. Scepter. Lightning. Looted from a nameless ice-brine coast barrow. The origins of this weapon are obscure. Very fancy. Black and gold with blue stones. Nice. Why is this not in junk? That's a bit weird.
These halls, mortal. Once these lands were quiet, gentle. Now they mean to kill all that tread upon it, even the Winter Fae. My people have lived in peace for decades, centuries. But now we're awash in war and corruption, and we cannot stop it. I do not know. The Midden, it has been sullied. We've never feared such assaults until recently. Wait, what was that? It is here.
An Etin. That out. It's not even looking at me. And the woman has disappeared. She's obviously a part of the test. See whether I would help. Though I don't know whether helping was the correct response. You would think so, but these are the Winter Court Fae, so the rules might be different. Ooh, that's a Dreadscale hood. I'll have that to break down in case I feel like wearing all Dreadscale.
And so you have completed your first trial. Your actions hold volumes, but your reactions are just as pertinent. You killed the creature that was chasing that woman. Why? Your crude attempts to elicit answers will not advance you any farther with me. Ahead, you will find a Fae of Sorrows, dying of poison. I hope you display more finesse when dealing with him.
Yeah. That's completed my Dangerous Games side quest that I can't drop. Glad there are no bitey plants guarding any of these objects. That would just be a pain. There's clearly more corridor up there. But it's inaccessible. It's not even shown on the map. How's it going, chap? You alright?
Please, are you the mortal that Bizarrain has brought to aid us? The one he has promised? Thank mercy, I have been poisoned. But now that you are here, you can kill me. Please, end my suffering. I do not know. It is some poison. In other times, the Fae would not be vulnerable to this. But we are weaker now. We are prone. I could have walked from this once. But now... Please, mortal. I know it's strange, but the Fae are not like you. Death is different to us. I will rise once more in time, but killing me will let me escape this suffering.
Indeed. Let's try asking who did it to him. And then if that... well, whatever that does, kill him afterwards.
I do not know. Everything is blurred. I do not even know where I am. It must have been him. He does whatever he cares with his subordinates. It was Bizarrain. He was meant to save us from the Tuatha, to preserve our oldest traditions, to protect the Winter Fae. Thank you for ending this.
And that's it. I don't even need to stab him. He just disappears without even leaving a body. Could have just been an illusion, I suppose. But it's not looking good for Bizarane. Bit of a tyrant, it seems. I mean, he's against the Tuatha, which is good, but he seems, if that's to be believed at least, to be a bit of a monster.
Death is something you readily deliver, it seems. But did that Fae die as a result of your mercy or your barbarity?
He asked me to kill him.
And you offered mercy. But he will be reborn in time to suffer another end, and another after that. You neither saved nor damned him. You merely spun the wheel. Death is a chasm that divides mortals from Fae. But you have tasted something of our cycle, and we Fae are quickly learning the cost of mortality. I am beginning to see who you truly are. The culmination of this trial is almost at hand.
Like, yeah, he will be reborn, and I suppose he might end up suffering again. In fact, he probably will end up suffering again, but living isn't suffering. That's not... I don't think life is defined or composed entirely of periods of varied levels of suffering. Maybe that's how it is for Wintercourt Fae. Seems inconclusive. But just being alive again wouldn't cause him, I don't think, to just immediately start suffering again. So, like, yeah, maybe having been reborn, that's interesting. Maybe having been reborn, he will at some point after that suffer, but that doesn't make it an inherently moral or immoral act to hasten him along. He's going to start a cutscene.
You have reached this chamber at last. The time of trial is over. No more apparitions, no more questions. The House of Sorrows has always held a precarious position in this world, and now we hold on to it by the tips of our fingers. You think you have broken the Tuatha's grip on Cluracan.
No, I don't.
You have not. Even now, the Winter Fae and the House of Sorrows are subject to their malice. I am the King of Sorrows. I have held dominion over these halls, over this house, over the Winter Fae who dwell here. But the war upon Cluracan has sapped me of my strength. Should these times continue, I may become nothing. Nothing at all. It is we who permit the Winter Fae to rise above their basic nature, to foster decay and ruin. A nature that normally divides rather than unites. For a time, the House avoided the war that cleaves this land. But now that war is upon us, and we are not ready.
You could have guessed that the war might come to you. And prepared, maybe.
I am not one to take anything on faith. If I wish to know an object's worth, I examine it for myself.
An empiricist.
This trial is designed to demonstrate your mettle. Because there are trials that I can observe from afar, and others that I must see at hand. We have reached the trial that I must be present for, if I am to test you truly.
Why do I need to strike you?
What you need to do and why you must do it are two very different matters, mortal. I deal in instructions, not explanations.
Do I strike him down and kill him and lead the House of Sorrows? That's a bit weird. Right.
Indeed. Perhaps not.
Haha! He said, "This is the end of illusions," and then it was an illusion.
Now that your trial has concluded, come with me. The Tuatha have yet to break down our doors, but I would not put that past them. The house is poised to collapse from the Tuatha's dissension and destruction, and I need one to help us.
Apparently that was the correct response.
I know it is not the mortal way to test someone in a manner such as this. The beast, the poison, it was all done out of necessity. I did not need you to understand the trial. I only needed it completed. I do not have time for you to meet the struggles of the house unprepared. Your reactions were real, but the Fae with whom you interacted, Tybri, Kadarok, and myself, were not. They were but apparitions of the Fae you will come to know in this house. As facsimiles, the apparitions were appropriate enough, but I think you will find their real-world counterparts more complex.
I mean, hopefully these are the same thing, but I'd rather help the house preserve what there is.
Then welcome to our ranks, mortal. The Hearthstone I gave you at the start of the trials will now reflect your affinity with us. Come, join me at the House of Sorrows. I will show you a world stranger than you have ever seen.
What does he think of Cydan?
The Prince of Sorrows once, but now, no longer. He wages a war against the Tuatha with little support but his own strength. Perhaps that is enough for him, but the only thing he will weaken is the house's morale.
He's doing something.
To your kind, it is a celebration of war. But before your mortal corpses were hung there by Tuatha, it was the emblem of our house's duty. The most reverent corpses were placed not in the Midden, but hung upon those boughs to show all of nature that we still revere our essence of decay. But like all things in these lands, the tree has been defiled by war. Saturnin took our greatest symbol and turned it to filth. My summer brethren embody the growth and progression of nature. As such, establishing the summer realms came easy to them. But the winter fae bear the burden of regression and decay in their essence. Left alone, they would never be able to overcome such a weight. They could never unite. The house's founder, the Weeping King, took on their sorrows and freed them. We carry the burden inherent in the winter fae, so they can achieve greatness. The House of Sorrows made a pact with the Tuatha. They would not interfere with us if we did not interfere with their war with the Alpha. Of course, the Tuatha did not trust us, so they insisted that a new king be appointed to the house, one agreeable to both parties. In the end, I was the one chosen. I was to be king, but in answering that call, I have been labeled a traitor by many within the house. He is the agent of the Tuatha, and though he bears their allegiance, his appearance is that of a winter fae. I am certain of it. I know little of him, but of me and my house, his knowledge is wide and deep. With every action, he reveals that he is merely toying with us. He is not a type of foe I am familiar with, for he does not attack outright. Instead, he instills fear and despair.
So we're going to take on Saturnin, I guess. Kill him?
The Midden is the cradle in which our race of winter was fostered. It is a place of rot, of decay, a place where the House of Sorrows holds reign.
Like the Cradle of Summer in the Feylands. The Summer Fane.
The Far Kelidae, they call themselves. The Faithful. They take the Fae of Winter and craft them into an army. But they know little of true devotion. If we are to discuss the plight of the house, I will do so at his heart. Come, Meet me in the main hall of the House of Sorrows, and we will speak more.
Cool. They may be worth breaking down so that I get dread skill parts in case I feel like making any new dread scale gear.
Speak.
This has taken us to the House of Sorrows. Interesting. Break the pots.
Greetings, Siegebreaker. Although there is much that must be done, I have time to talk. It is the emblem of the house. It is the heart of the Midden. It is said it has always been here, even during the times of the Weeping King. To be a member of the house is a great honor. Without the House of Sorrows, there would be no Court of Winter, no culture in these lands, only winter. He is the Faithloke Tocht, the choking vine. He reaches from briars dark and unknown to strangle the life from us. Before there was a Court of Winter, before there was a House of Sorrows, there was the Midden, a place where Winter Fae would come to die. The bodies left to rot here mark the covenant of the house. Though the Winter Fae may stave off decay to create its courts and culture, they cannot escape it forever. Farewell.
And here we have a quest.
Mortal, there is something that requires the attention of one of your kind. You have been to the Midden, yes? The sacred ground being desecrated by the corpses of your kind?
Briefly, and I didn't put the corpses there. I think we both know that, so presumably you want me to remove them?
If there was anyone meant to bear the title King of Sorrows, it was him. Had we not succumbed to the Tuatha's bargaining, he would have been king. Instead, we turned our backs on him. The Gallows Tree is the silent sentinel of the Midden, demonstrating how life grows out of death. It justifies our existence, defines it. It is a symbol not only of the House of Sorrows, but of the Winter Fae. To bear one's corpse upon it was a sacred rite, until the Tuatha defiled it with mortal remains.
This is unique armor. I think it's I mean, it must be exclusive to him.
It is from these halls that we of the house safeguard the oldest traditions of winter. It must be shown due reverence. I have nothing more to say about him other than history will know him as the victor.
Unlikely.
It was a gift of the earth to commemorate the rot and decomposition of the Fae. Then the Tuatha sullied it with the corpses of their prisoners. Mortals do not decay like Fae do. Mortals putrefy and corrupt. The Midden and the house now feel this grisly taint.
Stop filling up taints then, you weirdo.
The nature of my request is not something the Midden needs, but something the Midden should do without. The corpses of your brethren have been thrown into the Midden as a declaration of hostility by the Tuatha. But they do more than signify a point. Their corruption and rot have drawn an ancient Lianshi Mithra from slumber. She gluts herself on the bodies and will further corrupt the Midden if unchecked.
Ah, okay. I'll go kill her then.
To feed, Lianshi are drawn to death and decay. Something Winter Fae embody in spirit, but which mortals embody in flesh. When mortal corpses began appearing in the Midden, Mithgra was unable to resist the temptation before her, and now she runs rampant. You cannot hope to solve the problem with a simple application of violence. The Athgra is old, and she is wise to obvious attacks on her. Searching will yield no quarry, so you must be cunning. If we cannot find her in the Midden, we can force her to return to her den beneath the house. Find fresh corpses, the ones Mithgra prefers to eat, and cremate them. With no food to scavenge, she will return to her den. Then you can kill her.
It's not that cunning, but okay, cool.
She is an ancient and powerful Lianchi. Normally she hibernates in the Midden, but the recent influx of dead mortals has driven her to feed. It will only be a matter of time before she further corrupts the Midden with her presence. For the house's sake, she must be put down.
So what's the normal state of things with Mithgra? Does she just hibernate? What situations besides this one draw her out?
With great difficulty. She is clever and hides well when any come hunting for her. To search for her outright would be folly. But with some cunning, we can force her to appear. Mithgra prefers fresh corpses. Destroy those, and she would likely return to her den to wait for more. Locate any fresh corpses you can find, and cremate them. Without food, she will stop scavenging and return to her den. Make haste.
Righto. I worried that might have been a immortal pot. Oh, this is a lot of sorrow doing things.
So, there is a mortal after all. Bizarrain has done little in his time as king that has been quite so progressive as welcoming a mortal into our fold. His is the voice that cries out when struck dead. I see only doom for our people, and neither Bizarrain nor Cydan can avert it.
Ah, okay, so you need to break fate. I can do that.
Quiet place once. I used to watch the rooks and crows rest gently upon its boughs, but now the beasts are savage things, glutting themselves on rotten flesh.
That's a crow skull on your armor, eh?
How fitting, I think, that this place becomes like the bodies we tend, empty, cold, and eventually consisting of nothing.
Isn't that an ideal situation for the House of Sorrows?
It is said that Saturnin is one of us, one of the house. But who? Why would one of us betray us to the Tuatha?
Why indeed?
I have given up, mortal. It is the way of life to struggle, I think, in the jaws of death. But how can we consider ourselves devout if we struggle? No. Let us lay down our arms, let us lay upon the Midden soil and pass on. Be safe.
Well, you can, I think, if you want. I don't think it'll accomplish much.
Ah, it seems there were more to the rumors of Bizarrain's pet mortal than I gave credit.
Pet?
I am Matea, Lord Keeper of the House. I hold the lore of the house in my being. It is a responsibility that I alone can bear. As such, I am neither delver nor tender. Though he fights in the name of our people, I cannot help but feel abandoned by him. I only hope this war does not consume him.
I don't think it will.
Delvers are not chosen. Though many wish to follow in the steps of the Weeping King, few have his gift. Those that do, then, are compelled to serve as he did.
That doesn't tell me what a Delver is.
There has
or
always
what they
been
do.
a House of Sorrows, it seems. Not long after the birth of the Winter Fae came the Weeping King, and with him, the house. There is no precedent for a foe like this. Even in the ancient wars, no Fae ever acted in a manner such as Saturnin. I am at a loss to know what we must do to stop him. I do not believe it is a victory we can achieve.
That's cool. That's why I'm here. I'll bash him in the face.
Delvers see to the sorrows of a Fae, but Tenders see to his flesh. When a Fae dies, Tenders take the body to the Midden and see it safely into rot. Once a gentle place where the bodies of the Winter Fae were returned to the earth, the Midden is now a mire of filth, of putrid mortal death. Be careful when within. Until next time.
There's someone with a name here. Oh yeah, Deontique. Deonic. We'll meet her outside, or she was outside earlier.
Greetings, mortal. I am a tender of the Midden. I have been instructed to offer you what insight I can give about the art of dispelling.
Okay. She's a dispelling trainer.
Though we are targeted by Tuatha, Cydan is the only one who wages open war against them. For good or ill, I do not know. I have always felt magic's call, but in the Midden, the call is strongest. It allows me to see charms and spells and undo them. This I teach to all who listen. Once, we lived in the wilds of the Midden, but as the place became defiled, we had to take refuge in these old halls for fear of the beasts outside, and of Saturnin. If there is nothing else we can do, if we cannot bring a lasting peace for our house, then at least let us bring an end to Saturnin. In many ways, we are the keepers of the house in flesh, as the Delvers are the keepers of the house in spirit. We embody the corporeal. Be warned, mortal. The Midden is no longer what it once was. It is a place of beasts and dark, putrid magic, unsafe to all who enter.
You're not ready for this skill, this level of training. Minimum skill required 7. Okay, interesting.
Remember.
It seems these days that many flock to the Midden, either to jeer at the ruin of the Gallows Tree, or to bring ruin to this house. Which are you, I wonder?
Either.
Can he hope for victory alone, when the whole of the house fears defeat? I applaud his determination, but I feel it will be his undoing. We are a thing of necessity, so I am told. An answer to our brethren, the Summer Fae, and the court they have constructed. It is a difficult thing, not to know who your opponent is. No one can truly be trusted, not until Saturnin is stopped. In days long gone by, we would enter the Midden and treat the bodies to ensure that they decayed into the earth that birthed us. But now, we can do nothing.
I guess they must feel helpless.
There are few places in the world that have magic like the Midden does. This is an ancient place, a home of elder things than we Fae. I will no longer stomach the delays and insults of Bizarrain. The house must be led to war, if not by him, then by someone else. Keep the sorrows.
I have a task for you. Of late, there are many in this house who have come to view my authority with disdain. As such, there is need of someone unbiased by our house's history and the traditions therein. Someone such as you. We must move quickly. The Tuatha will not hold their strikes for long. Let us stop their next blow.
Ah, so he is moving to war then.
He
Oops,
is the agent of the Tuatha. I know little of him. He is not a type of foe I am familiar with. For the Tenders are those sacred few who oversee the decay and decomposition of a winter phase body. They also oversee the Midden itself. For like a body, the Midden is a physical thing, a vessel for rot and ruin, that which is required for death to become rebirth. Finally, they once tended to the gallows tree, but that was before the Tuatha perverted it. Members of the house may choose one of two paths, the path of the Delver or the path of the Tender. Delvers are those who commune with the sorrows of the living Fae and the recently deceased. They draw forth these sorrows and assume them. However, most Delvers lost their talent over these last few centuries. But our youngest, Tybri, shows some promise. You fail to understand. Although the Tuatha wage war with us, as they have with the Alfar, they do so by other methods. Our enemies are subtle. They target individuals, not armies. They strike at convictions, not cities. And by doing so, they can retreat to where we cannot find them. For all our years of struggle, we know only this. That our enemy is led by a Tuatha agent, Saturnin. He is the master of this shadowy coup. We cannot right now. He hides himself and covers his tracks well. But I have a lead which you will investigate with one of our delvers, Tybri. A tender, Catarak, has fled the house and killed a fellow member in doing so. I suspect Saturnin's influence, or perhaps that Catarak might be Saturnin himself. Bring Tybri to the body of Catarak's victim. Though dead, the sorrows will remain on the corpse. The sorrows can lead us to Catarak.
So, post-cognition of a sort.
There is a tender named Catarak who has fled our ranks. He is somehow tied to Saturnin. I am certain of it. I want you to find him and put an end to him. For if he is not Saturnin himself, then he is betraying our secrets to the Tuatha.
Righto.
And you have come to Drozer. I know of your kind, mortal. I have seen what you have to offer. War, destruction, calamity.
That's not
you
just
are
us.
better off leaving us be.
And that's not all we bring, either. I mean, we're only dealing in war, destruction, and calamity because of the Tuatha.
He will always be a prince of the house, even though we have parted ways. We wish him well. The art of the Delvers has been passed on since the Weeping King first walked this Midden. That it is now lost, it must be some Tuatha witchery. What do you wish to know of me, mortal? What of a Fae could you hope to understand? I will not deign to explain my life to you.
Alright, don't then.
Once, the bodies of our most faithful members were hung upon the tree. But now, the Tuatha have decorated it with the butchered corpses of mortals. Blasphemy! We are the foundation upon which all Winter Fae rely. By attacking us, the Tuatha have turned their back on their own kin once and for all. I have seen the Tuatha as they fell upon the houses of pride and of vengeance. It was horrible and maddening. But never have I seen a Tuatha draw out a battle such as this. Never have I seen one enjoy such malice. Be careful.
Many tidings, mortal. I am a tender of this house. What is it you require? Though he has done well to stand against the Tuatha, he has done so by embracing their warlike methods.
It's a choice. It's a choice you got to make.
We are the penitent ones who oversee the rotting of the world. Your kind reviles us, but without our aspects of nature, nothing would ever flourish.
True.
I cannot venture into the Midden. Not any longer. There are beasts both ravenous and cruel, and sights loathsome to behold. It scares me. I thought the Tuatha were capable only of barbarity, only of outright vengeance. Instead, we are told that the Tuatha have unleashed on us a beast of cunning, of sly vindictiveness, and it cannot be stopped. We lack the subtle senses of our delving brethren. Nonetheless, we are as faithful to the Midden and the Weeping King's tradition as they are. When the world was young, it was from the Midden that we were born, and that all things came to die. Sorrows go with you.
The mortal. This house is full more of portents than of sorrow these days. Your arrival must truly be a telling of how dark these times have grown.
Guess so.
The outcast? What more is there to speak than to say that he abandoned the traditions of this house out of lust for war and reprisal? Perhaps his motives are just. But nature cares little for what one does in the name of justice. Only what one does in the name of survival.
I think he thinks he's acting out of survival.
Though delvers have heard sorrows in the past, there have, of late, been none that can perform the art. The spirit of the house is flagging, it seems. The tree is ever quiet, but sometimes you can hear it groan under the weight of the indignities it now bears. Saturnin has gone too far with his latest assault. I've seen this house in strong winters and weak ones, but I never pledged my being to a beast as winded and laboring as the house is now. We were greater once. We had tenders and delvers throughout these lands, not individuals huddled in worry over Saturnin and the Tuatha. The beast will be caught, for until now he has not tasted the strength of winter. He will pay for his crimes against us.
Sounds pretty,
Beware of Saturnin.
wrathful and barbaric.
And so you come. The least powerful of us in some regards, the most powerful in many others. I am Rorid, mortal, one of the tenders of the Midden.
Yeah, I don't have any power to delve or anything, but I can kick anyone's ass. It's rather jarring just how dour the Winter Fae are, even the ones who aren't evil. Yeah. I really like that they've come up with a concept for them, like a really weird, out there, strange concept that still makes sense, and are sticking to it really well.
There are those that flee the house, as a crow fleeing a coming storm, but Cydan is more than that. He seeks to free us from the Tuatha.
Welcome, my Hawkman, by the way. Nice to see you. Yeah, I really like that they're evoking a whole, like, ethos with all these dudes.
Nothing good remains for us. Too much has already been lost in this struggle with the Tuatha.
And, like, it makes sense that you can't just have summer, you also need... It needs to be cyclical. You can't just have endless growth. You need to have decay that can then fuel new growth.
I have always lived my life here in this house. What will become of me when it is gone? Are our fates bound, or will they be undone?
They'll be undone. I'll break your fate, and then you can do whatever you like. Even if that is continue as you ever have been. That'll still be a choice.
We were hurt the most by the befouling of the Midden. Of those that bay for the Tuatha's blood, none do so louder than the tenders.
I can't imagine the tenders doing anything as energetic as baying, but okay.
There is little that can be done for this place now. The Tuatha have sullied our ancestral cradle with the bodies of mortals. It may be changed forever. Be wary.
Okay, and I just wanted to go and talk to everyone here, get an idea of what they thought about the situation and about Cydan, and try and get a clearer idea of what delvers and tenders are. As one analogy put it, mines destroy the landscape, but are used to collect the ore needed to forge steel, thus creation requires destruction. Yeah. I mean, mining can be done in a way that is more responsible and less destructive. Like, strip mining, not really needed. It's just greedy. But, yeah, pulling resources from the earth is something that we need to do in order to progress. But, yeah, that'll be the end of the stream today, I think. We're a little over time, but that's fine. I knew that I was doing that. I wanted to get everyone talked to here before moving on. Next time, I'm going to go out into the Midden and explore the rest of it and continue with the quests that we've been getting. If strip mining is done right, it actually has a minimal impact as well, i.e. you dig a big hole, then fill it and plant trees on the dirt. Yeah, fair enough. You're still quite drastically changing the landscape though. And depending on where you do it and what effect that would have on the ecology of the area, I think it would need to be done carefully, but your point stands. I remember reading about one outfit that actually used the old dig site to hold the dirt dug out of the new site. Clever. I mean, you've got to cart all the material over and then dump it in, but yeah, that makes sense. Bit of a shame you joined us so late. We could have talked, but that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again on Friday at around about 8 PM GMT. If between times you feel like talking, I'm available on Twitter at Vanilla Jester. I also am uploading these to my YouTube, Vanilla Jester Gaming. Mohawkman has me on Discord. I am around on Discord, and if you really feel like it, and we've talked, I don't mind adding you. But until Friday, I hope you have a nice time, and see you again. I hope to see you again. I'll see you again. Goodbye.